Hello, I am P. James Holland, creator of Real Estate CPR, and right now I want to talk to you about investing in today's real estate market and why it may be getting harder and harder. You and I both know this is happening, and if you're watching this video right now, let's talk about it. The problem is, if you're an investor right now in today's market, you are having trouble keeping up with new and creative ways to find more profitable deals, the changing trends, and most importantly, keeping yourself from being over leveraged on time and over leveraged on money. Because, let's be honest, most people know most of the traditional ways to invest and maybe one or two of the creative ways to invest. Yet, you know, like I know, if you're doing what the majority is doing, you will get the majority results in your business. You are likely at the point where you want to change. Some sort of insider advantage, right? Well, I'm here to tell you there are a few myths I'd like to shatter right now. One, you do not need money to make money in real estate. If you are investing using your own money, banks, credit, or even the wrong kind of hard money or improperly structured owner financing, you are going to want to listen to this all the way to the end. Two, motivated sellers are not hard to find and are not the only profitable deals you can find. They are all around you if you know where to look. Three, it does not take long to profit from real estate. Done correctly, you can pull out five figures from a deal in less than 3 days if you know what you're doing. You may have seen it done before and never knew exactly how it was done. Well, you can put together deals like this too. Four, you do not need large down payments to get into a big project. Actually, you should not be putting any money down up front, especially your own money. All of this is possible with the right method and process, yet not everyone is doing it. Do you ever wonder why that is? There are a few reasons real estate investors never quite reach the level they want. One, no one ever commits themselves to mastery. You may learn one or two processes that may have a bit of success, then you get stuck in that pattern forever, becoming a one trick pony. Two, they have no system. What I mean is a step by step process that is clear, effective, and efficient that anyone can follow. This is crucial, especially if you want to get to the point of automating certain tedious tasks and time consuming aspects of your business. Three, they have no consistent education. Most read one book, go to one seminar, study one market analysis, read one consumer report, or learn one process, and off they go. Four, no access to a mentor. They don't have anyone they can consistently bounce off ideas off of, test new things, and guiding them to new changes. But it's not your fault, because I am a lot like you. I first started studying real estate when I was a teenager. I remember saving up my money and buying the VHS cassette tapes of Carlton Sheets, showing my age here. I still have them in my mother's garage somewhere. I can't bring myself to throw them out. I went on to buy my first property at age 20. It was a two-bedroom, two-bath condo I got for about $70,000. I then later sold that for $170,000 with about $100,000 in profit minus fees. Needless to say, I was hooked. I had a 790 credit score and was getting loans and HELOCs and buying up every property that I could. I saw the market was ridiculous in Indiana and I was buying homes for $4,000. That is not a typo. $4,000, less than a used Honda Civic. I am born in California, so for me, buying a house for $4,000 was absolutely unheard of, but I was doing it all day long. I was putting about $10,000 in repairs, getting it rented for about 650, getting it reappraised for about 58,000, then immediately getting a HELOC for 70% of the value, which gave me about 40,000 or so doing the math in my head right now, and then I would pull the cash out and buy two more, and just repeating it over and over. It was good times. More money than any kid in its early 20s should be in charge of. Luckily, I never experimented with any other recreational drugs like so many of my friends in this industry, and when you get too much money too fast and you start to get a little crazy. Yet you probably already know where this is going. I was cash rich, but on paper I was a huge liability with all the debt I had. Pretty soon, banks stopped lending, and that was perfect timing for the crash. Yes, I lost everything. My houses, my car, my friends. Lots of family turned their back on me, including my wife at the time. I was down to just the clothes I was keeping on me. This is the time I refer to as the dark era. We don't talk about the dark era. Since then, I was determined to get back into real estate. I had a taste for how fast and easy the success would come, and I needed to have it back. I promised I would never make those mistakes again and learned everything I could to prevent anything even close to that happening again. That is when I first learned wholesaling, how to flip a property for profit the same day without even seeing the property. I have a 10K system that I teach this process now to other people starting out. Then I learned different strategies to invest without ever using a bank credit loan of any kind. Well, because I didn't have a choice, actually. My credit was shot. With foreclosures and repos on my name, no bank would touch me, and rightly so. So I had to learn to get creative. And now, years later, I can look back and say I'm truly grateful for the way it happened. Because now I can buy and sell more properties than I ever could using any of these old traditional methods. Now I have access to unlimited amount of funding that I set the terms for, no monthly payments, 100% financing, including the repair cost, without paying any points and only paying 7% interest. And none of it goes on my credit. It has completely changed the way I run my business. And that happened mostly because I changed my mind. I started to think like the successful people I was following in the industry. And I want you to do the same. The winners in the business commit themselves to mastery. They know that it is an ongoing thing and dedicate time to it each and every month. The winners commit themselves to their own education, always learning, always studying, always trying new things, and always adapting. The winners commit themselves to systems, finding different ways to streamline every process. And the winners in this industry commit themselves to having a mentor, someone they can learn from, someone who can give them a new perspective, an outsider looking in advisor to see what they may be too close to see on their own. And that is exactly what I have for you here. Inside the Investor CPR newsletter, I'm going to take you by the hand over the next few months and cover all the points of mastery so you can have more profit with less stress and double or even triple your profit this year. That is my commitment to you. First, we'll cover capital. We will go over all the different zero risk ways to fund your deals so your cash flow is never tied up and you're never over leveraged. This is important because if you're doing any of the old school ways to fund your deals, there's only so much you can do before you hit a ceiling and you're stuck having to pass on tons of profitable projects while you wait until some of your capital is freed up. Then we'll cover the properties. We will go over things like how to get your inbox filled with so many profitable properties for sale. You can pick and choose the projects you want and cherry pick the best ones. We'll go over how to analyze deals properly so you never get stuck with an egg. We'll go over market research so you know how to pick the tiny little investor hotspots that sell within minutes once you're done with it, and much more. And we'll round off the newsletter by going a deep dive into returns. This will cover everything dealing with a profit, proper exit strategy, when to put them on the MLS and when to go private, determining if you should buy and hold as a rental, how to get all the properties sold in less than 3 days, the best way to find the top agents in the country that you want to work for, and much more. This newsletter will be delivered in bite-sized chunks each week right into your email inbox. Most times it will contain everything you need right there. Other times I may link to outside resources I have found for you, and some will be inside your private members area where it may contain downloadable documents like templates, ad samples, tutorial videos, or even audio commentary. This way you can access it online from anywhere you are and never have to worry about missing an issue. Plus, there's virtually no risk because you can cancel at any time. If you are not finding any value for any reason at all, just send an email our way and your subscription will be canceled with no further obligation, no problem. Typically, when I offer any kind of training or mentoring, my fees start in the 4 figures, and even at that price, I have 100% satisfaction. And if I end up packaging all these newsletters up down the line, which I plan to, you'll be able to purchase them for no less than $9.97, likely to start. Why? Well, because if you implement even just one of these strategies, it will be pennies compared to what it does for your business. And if you check the price below right now, if you subscribe today, you'll see that you're getting on this newsletter literally just pennies to subscribe now. So you're definitely going to want to stay subscribed because over the next 12 months, your weekly newsletter is going to be filled with cutting edge stuff from some of the best in the business. I follow my own advice and I buy everyone's course I read every book I can get my hands on, and I connect with every professional in the industry. And I'll be sharing all of my insights with you so you don't have to spend the time and money going to events and reading all the books. I may even do book reviews or something current or something classic. I'll be sharing my notes on what I learned from the latest workshop I attend from some of the big names like Zan Merrill, Dean Graziosi, Ron LeGrand, Ty Lopez, David Lindahl, Gary Keller, Rich Dad Seminars, Richard Roop, Dean Jackson, the Rich Jerk Seminars, Robert Allen, and many more that I have learned from over the years and continue to study, as well as some of the surprise bonuses every 3 months that will be more than worth 3 years worth of the subscription on its own. And when you subscribe today, I'll be throwing in a few bonuses. You'll get immediate access to my private investors LinkedIn group. One of the best ways to grow your business is to network with like-minded individuals. Always surround yourself with people on the same mission as you. You'll also get access to my 10K in 60 days system immediately when you join today. And a few other goodies will be in there, but I've already rambled on long enough with this price this low. Shouldn't need that much more convincing. So if you're dedicated to your success as a real estate investor and are just starting out or even a seasoned expert who wants to learn some new tricks of the trade and commit yourself to your education and making this year double or triple all of the previous, then hit the subscribe button below now, and I look forward to growing with you over the next year.